Hello boaters. Well, here's an odd thing that's happened this year. If the weather's nice, I like to sit on the back deck on the steps. You know, you've seen that when I let the cats out at the end. I sit on the back steps with the doors open and I'll just look out and watch the world go by sometimes. But what I've noticed this year is that every now and again, and sometimes it's very strong, I notice the smell of what seemed to be like a certain herbal narcotic, you know, the type that's got leaves that shape. You know what I'm talking about. And yeah, this smell would just be sort of wafting past. I thought, well, I didn't think much of it at first. I mean, I don't smoke, but I am familiar with the smell. Frequently when I'm out cycling, you'll get a car go past and it'll be reeking of the stuff. And that smell kind of lingers in the air for quite a long time after they've gone past. And you obviously smell it in other places as well. So I'm familiar with the smell of the stuff. But sitting there on my back deck and smelling it, well, where was it coming from? Is it emanating from a nearby boat? Or perhaps a nearby house? Or did someone maybe just walk past along the towpath with a smoking some, and the smell is lingering after they've gone? I don't know. Anyway, I didn't think too much of it. You know, these things, this sort of thing happens all the time. But then I moved from that mooring spot into another location, which was very quiet. There were no other boats moored by, no houses, very few walkers on the towpath, and still I would get this strong smell of it. And it was, well, I couldn't really explain that. It was very, very odd. And throughout the whole summer, I've been noticing this smell when I've been out on the back deck of my boat. Nowhere else, but just around the back deck area, getting this really strong reek of the stuff. And it was getting stronger, you know, and I was smelling it more and more often. And I couldn't explain it. So, I mean, there's not much going on my back deck anyway. So, I mean, I thought perhaps, well, are the deck boards, are they getting old? Are they starting to rot and maybe starting to smell? No, it can't be that. I had a good sniff of them and now they're fine. Is it something below the deck? Maybe some bilge water gone a bit sort of stagnant or something like that? And again, no, and that's a different smell anyway. So it wasn't that. And it didn't sort of pique my curiosity enough to make a full-on active investigation as to what this was, but it was sort of puzzling me, you know, pretty much all summer. I kept getting, sometimes I'd go out there and I wouldn't smell it, but other times, oh, it's really strong. What is it? Eventually, of course, I worked out what it was, and it wasn't on my back deck at all. What I do is when I moor up, usually it's on metal Armco piling. That's my favourite sort of place to moor up. And then I'll use mooring hooks. I should have brought one with me to show you. But I use mooring hooks and then, you know, thread the rope through those to tie up. Now, because metal piling, if the cats fall into the water and there's metal piling around, they might have difficulty climbing out if they fall in. So what I do is on those hooks, as I put them in, I get these strips of carpet. I don't know if you can see that. Let's zoom out a minute. Wrong way. Let's zoom out a bit. And yeah, strips of carpet. And just like this one. This one's been used. You can see there's a bit of a tide mark on it. And I hang that on the hooks. And hang that on the hooks. And then if they fall in, their claws, they can climb up that and get out really easily. Now that won't work for dogs, of course, because they don't have claws. But I've always, you know, had strips of carpet on, and the old carpets that I was using, eventually they rot and perish, and you've got to replace them. So I bought these. This was like a doormat, which I got from like the pound shop, so very cheap. I cut it in half, long ways, and joined the two halves together, so I've got a nice long length. And well, I made two. This one I think I used once, and found another piece of carpet to use instead. The one that I was using on the back end of the boat, though, I'd been using that all summer, and this was what was causing the smell. At first, when I started pulling this out of the canal, when I was going to move, it would smell really unpleasant, really kind of stagnant, because it's very absorbent and it holds a lot of water. It also holds a lot of silt, and eventually it started to stink, and it was really unpleasant and not the sort of smell that I've described earlier. So I didn't really put two and two together straight away. But over time, somehow that smell has come about from this particular type of carpet. I don't get it if I use other types of carpet, and there's no label on this to say what it's made of. Because it's from the pound shop, I'm assuming it's just really cheap synthetic stuff, so that shouldn't rot, but I don't know. But this is what was causing the smell, and on close inspection it was, oh yeah, that's definitely it. So the offending one, the other one that I made, I threw that away last time I went to the rubbish disposal place, and of course the smell is completely gone now, which is a relief. God knows what people were thinking when they walked past my boat. They probably thought I was some sort of junkie. But yeah, so this one, I don't know if I'll even use this one. I've got some other types of carpet I can use. I've never noticed it with other types of carpet before, so it must be something in the ingredients of this particular type of carpet that was causing that smell. I don't think it's hemp based or anything like that. It's a mystery, but yeah, it took me ages to figure it out. Of course, I was looking around the back deck, and at the time this was not on the back deck, it was actually hanging on the over the edge of the piling, so it didn't attract any attention from me. Anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that little story. I'll see you next time.